This story is about 5 deaths and some issues within San Francisco's largest rehabilitation center, HealthRight 360. I came upon this story because I've spent 5 or 6 years covering homelessness and addiction in San Francisco, people that are struggling with fentanyl abuse or meth addiction. And in time, I kept hearing, I've been to HealthRight, it's been unsuccessful, this is what happened to me. In this case, there were 5 deaths over the course of 13 months, and we thought that was definitely worth digging deeper.
Once we started to hear similar things over and over again, I started submitting requests for records, because an investigation like this, we can't just rely on, what people say, but we really need to back it up with as much document and verification as we can. So we went to the state regulatory agency, we went to the city's oversight agency, Department of Public Health. We looked at court records, we looked at health inspection records, police records, coroner reports. And so we used all that to back up what we were hearing. We talked to over 50 clients and staff members, and then we talked to dozens of family members of the people who passed. And in the story, it's probably about 1% of the reporting and people we talked to. Gino Sargent was the second person to die at Walden House earlier this year. He was 24 at the time of his death. He had been to about a half a dozen treatment programs by that time, but he had been recently diagnosed with bipolar disorder, as well as struggling with use of ketamine, cocaine, and alcohol. And so his mom was really hopeful, because Walden House promotes itself as a dual diagnosis where they can treat both substance use disorders and mental health. But about 4 months into treatment, he fatally overdosed from fentanyl and was found to be deceased by staff members.
So this moment of Faye and her mom, Sandy, as they threw ashes into the ocean of her young son, Gino, who died at HealthRight, was extremely emotional. It was quite peaceful and quiet. It was really one of the only times I saw Faye get emotional. She's a very strong woman who wanted to celebrate her son, and so it was a rare moment. I think as a photographer, when you photograph someone who's passed, you want to find details that kind of show the personality of the person. And we kept hearing that he made these lists. His sobriety was so important to him. The first thing he talks about is being sober. He's grateful to be sober. He's grateful for Ramon, which was his sponsor. He's grateful to AA. So the first 3 things are about him getting clean. While I know HealthRight deals with a lot of complicated people, it is what he wanted. He wanted to be clean, and he wasn't able to get there. Time and time again, I was shocked to hear how rampant the drug use was. We heard the term flop house used over and over again, just constant using, that people who were trying to get clean just didn't stand a chance.
I think it was important to note the context in which this is happening. The fentanyl is a new drug, it's a new beast, and it's really difficult. People can fatally overdose very quickly. Nobody, wants HealthRight to go away, and in fact it's the opposite. There's so many people out on the streets right now that are experiencing substance use, mental health issues, who are homeless and who need a place to go to get the care they need.
I don't want one more person to fatally overdose in anywhere, but especially when they're trying to get clean.